Welcome to Randos with Paul Garcia. I will be interviewing some of the most special and interesting people in our communities to find out what makes them tick. Again, I invite you to join me at Randos with Paul Garcia. Thank you. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Randos with Paul Garcia. I'm your host, Paul Garcia. Today's podcast is a continuation of post-retirement. What are people doing at post-retirement? Like I said before, you get all the financial advisors telling you what to do, how to prepare yourself. But what do these people actually do? So with that being said, it'll be a whole different, another person discussing with us about what they do. And you can get a different insight with a different individual. This podcast is brought to you by Lone Star Coffee. Lone Star Coffee is an office coffee provider. They can provide you with any kind of coffee you want, any kind of coffee machine, all your break room needs, spoons, knives, forks, paper towels, sodas, and waters. You also get free equipment, free brand new equipment with every new install. So give them a call at 832-912-1325, or how I like to remember it is 832-912 plus 13 equals 25. So today's guest is Nancy Stockwell. She's going to give us her story about post-retirement. Let's throw out that first pitch and get this podcast going. Hi, welcome to another podcast with Randos with Paul Garcia, brought to you by Lone Star Coffee, your office coffee provider. Now, Nancy, thank you for joining us. It's just awesome you're here. Thank you so much. And what we're talking about today is post-retirement. What do people do after retirement? Nancy, how long? Wait, hold up. We're at a bar, right? We're at my bar.
Oh, yes.
I've got your pre-drink here.
Okay.
I got your vodka tonic right here waiting for you, ma'am. I forgot it. Had it made ready for you.
Perfect.
How long have you been retired?
I have been retired 4 years next month.
4 years next month. Oh, that's awesome. That's good. That's a good little run. What were you doing before? Where'd you work at?
I worked for a small regional natural gas pipeline company. I was a contract administrator, and most of the contracts that I dealt with involved land easements, rights of way, service leases, things like that.
Oh, okay. Very cool. Very cool.
And,
you enjoyed it?
I did, and apparently I have a specialized skill in that because after I've retired, they've called me back, I think 3 times to work on some specific land projects.
Really?
So, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
They can't live without me.
It's nice to be wanted, isn't it? That's neat. That's neat that you have that expertise. So is it safe to say you miss it a little bit?
Oh,
even after 4 years?
Not really. I don't mind doing the work when they call me. This is added income, my bank account. But I don't really miss the day-to-day. I have to go to the office or work from home. I don't really miss that.
Yeah. Well, what would you say? I'm always curious about that very first day you didn't have to go to work. Do you remember what you did? Or how you felt, what your emotions were?
I retired when I did because my daughter was getting married.
Okay.
So I retired in August of 2021. She got married in October 2021. So the first couple of months I was retired, I was deep into wedding planning.
So you really didn't get a chance just to soak in the sun and take it easy.
I was deep into wedding planning, and then she got married at the end of October. Then we had November. I have a lot of November birthdays in my family. Of course, Thanksgiving, then Christmas, then New Year's. So it wasn't until after all that I was like, now what do I do?
Wow. So it kind of led you into what was that, 2023?
No, 2022.
Yeah. The following year. Mm-hmm. Wow. So then you got going to really, what'd you just do? What'd you do after that?
Well, I had been doing this prior to retirement. I do quilting and some sewing. So I was continuing that, but that's a very solitary activity.
Yeah.
And so I Anthony was still working, so I was at home
And
by
Anthony's
myself.
your significant other.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And so I was at home by myself, sewing, listening to podcasts, kind of like what you're doing,
Uh-huh.
just trying to keep my mind going,
Yeah.
try to not turn on the TV. But it got very lonely. So I said, I need to figure out something else to do to get me out of the house. We did go dancing, but that was like once or twice a week. And we saw our dance friends, but I needed something during the day too, some
Yeah.
contact
Yeah.
with other people during the day. So
So how'd you fill that void?
I looked up the Katy Senior Center to
Okay.
see what activities they had.
Good
And,
idea. That's a good thought. Everybody in their town has something like that.
Yes,
A
yes,
community center that they
yes.
can go to. And
Well, and I was kind of disappointed when I first started reading the list because it was, Mexican Train or Mahjong
oh, the
or
games
card
they play.
games
Yeah,
and
yeah,
all
yeah.
these things. And that's
You
not
wanted
me.
something more physical or
Yes,
what?
but they also had line dancing.
Right up your alley, huh?
So I started going to line dancing there, and through other contacts and other friends that I know who are in line dancing, I've kind of branched out. I don't really go to the senior center anymore. I go to a dance studio that I've learned line dancing is an international thing.
Oh, really?
Yes, it is. Very big thing. So I've kind of branched out and met different people and gone to some different events in different places. And so it's filled a big part of my time and interest. So I've enjoyed that.
So this takes, is this a once a month type activity for you? Are you part of a club that does line dancing
It's
or
not
what?
exactly a club. I wouldn't call it a club.
Uh-huh.
It's a group.
And you do this?
Around the Houston area. Like there's a group here in Tomball
Oh,
where you're
okay.
located. There's a group here in Tomball. I happen to be in Katy. There's a group in Bel Air. There's a new group in the Kingwood area, Humboldt Kingwood area. And then that's just here. But there's Dallas, Austin, Longview, I think. They're all over the place. And international. We went to an event in Dallas in April, and it was workshops. So they had instructors come and do these workshops to teach you these different dances because they're kind of complicated. They're very choreographed dances. And we had instructors from the Netherlands, Belgium, I think France. They're from all over the world. Yeah, it's a big.
So do you learn how to do, like, say, Belgium? Do they do stuff different than, I'm assuming everybody has their own little type of dance? Is it pretty uniform or what?
It's uniform because there is a website that maintains a database of what's called step sheets for all the different dances.
Yeah.
They'll have the step sheets where you can print it out, and if you can understand them, you can learn the dance from that. And they have demo videos of teaching it.
Wow.
So, and it's all, if you go to an event in Dallas or if you go to an event in France or wherever, if you're doing that particular dance, it would be the same. If it's the same choreographer, there's also choreographers that are more well known, and they're from all over the world, Ireland, Australia, everywhere.
And then they might add a little something to it that's not in the steps.
No, they generally don't.
They usually stick to that, even your movement of your arms.
You can style it a little bit if you want to, but it's pretty much codified.
Now, it's competition, I'm assuming.
Well, there can be, but not for
not
me.
necessarily.
Yeah.
And you guys, is this an entity that you must pay dues into, or how?
No, it's not dues. The group in Katy, we do pay a small fee to rent the studio space. So that's the fee.
What if you get this Belgium or Norwegian instructor? Who pays them?
Well, the workshop, you did pay the fee to go to the workshop.
Oh, okay.
The set fee, and then the hotel, wherever you stay. But just to dance, no. And in the senior center in Katy, that's free. So if you want to just do it for free.
And I'm sure a lot of communities have that. So I think that'd be something interesting. And it is male, female, right?
Well, it's predominantly female, but I keep trying to get Anthony to come out there with me.
But they do have men in there?
They
do.
Men? They do,
And
and
then,
a lot of choreographers are men.
oh, and what's the age span?
Um, it's pretty broad. Our age, which retirement. There's a lot of us,
Yeah. But
but
I
there
mean,
are
do
a
you
lot
get
of
into
younger
people
ones.
that are 85, 80-ish?
Probably. I'm not
I'm just
sure
curious because I think
exactly.
there's a lot of people out there
Yeah,
want to know, hey,
yeah,
can I still?
yeah.
Yeah, people do that.
I know at the senior center there were people of that age group, but that's not that much older than me anymore. I
Well, you're far from
mean,
80, but it's a
um,
deal where, when people are getting a little further in their mid 80s and stuff,
yes,
there's some people that still can
yeah,
move pretty
yeah,
good, and they
yeah,
could do this because a
yeah.
lot of people limit themselves. Is what
Right.
I'm trying to keep people from
And the
doing.
skill level, the dances are ranked for beginner. I mean, even absolute beginner, beginner, improver, they call
That's
it.
good to
And it goes
know.
all the way up to advanced.
So people
But
don't have to feel intimidated. They
right,
can start off
right,
at a lower level.
yeah.
That's cool. I think I'd be interested in
Well,
that. I think
good,
that's pretty neat.
good.
That is pretty neat.
Well, there's a group here in
And
Tomball I can put you in
okay,
touch
yeah, I
with.
might have to try that out. But wow, that kind of overwhelmed me. Because you've sold it really well, and that just solves a lot of things as far as interaction with other people, staying physical. You got to
Well,
concentrate on the steps, so you're
and
you're using your
yeah,
mental
I'd point out too,
capacity.
Anthony and I dance, we do partner dancing.
Hmm.
But when you do partner dancing, most of the burden is on your partner, your lead.
Your lead. Uh-huh.
And so Anthony bears the responsibility to figure out what to do next. I just
Right.
have to follow it.
Gotcha.
Line dancing, I have to know what to do myself. So it's a brain exercise.
Yeah, I think this is taking. I think a lot of older people our age. I stay away from the world old, but people that are in our age group.
Yeah.
They would love it.
Yeah.
Plus, they realize that there's no limitations. There's no.
No, there aren't.
As long as you can walk,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you could be in the extra, whatever you said, the beginners, super beginners, or whatever it was. That's kind of neat.
Yeah.
I think I would, along those lines. Is there other stuff you want to get into? Other activities you're thinking about doing?
Well,
Because
I get, like Anthony mentioned, when you talk to him, we volunteer at the Hobby Center.
yeah,
And Hobby Center is a musical, they ran musical theater mainly. That's their purpose.
hmm
And you go see a Broadway musical and you go home singing all the songs. You think, oh, I could do that.
think you could sing? Oh, okay. Now I think we're stretching it a little too
We're
far
stretching
there.
it very far. But, dream big.
No, yeah, really. No, that's kind of cool. That is
Yeah.
kind of neat because you get into it and you see these people and you're going, that would be fun to do. If I could sing, I think I would think that'd be great.
Yeah, I know, but I unfortunately wasn't blessed with singing ability.
So you like also doing the hobby,
Yes,
volunteering there at the
yes,
hobby.
yes.
And how much of a commitment is that? Are you talking about a 2-hour commitment, 30 minutes?
If you sign up for a show,
You stay through the whole show. You don't.
that's an option. You have to stay at least through intermission.
Oh,
After
okay.
intermission,
And
and you can leave after the intermission if you want to, or you can stay and watch the rest of the production.
Oh, that's interesting. So you're saying you're only committed to intermission, so they don't bug you after intermission. Say, hey, can you go over there at aisle 14? They got a little disruption.
Oh well, if there's a disruption like that, you call your captain.
Okay.
We're just volunteer ushers. So because we have had instances where we've had to, okay, that's above my pay grade, go get the captain.
Well, I know because we've been in plays before, my better half and I, and we're there, and somebody was causing a disruption.
Yeah.
And I don't think they really knew it. And it happened to be an older lady, and she was just, I don't know what the deal was, but I just saw a swarm of people go to them.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming they had the same kind of setup.
They do. They have a procedure if something's going on.
Yeah, I did not realize, because for us, we had gone to New York, and we like to go see those plays there. And I didn't realize all those people were volunteers.
Well, the ushers at Hobby Center are volunteer, and they have access team members who help people in wheelchairs or some other type of need assistance to get to their seats and to and from. But the captains and house managers, that's staff. That's Hobby Center staff.
Oh, they're staff. Okay.
So yeah, not everybody is volunteer, but the ushers generally are.
Oh, That really is a neat
Yeah.
thing. That's a neat
And you
thing.
see all kinds of people. You see the shows. It's fun. It's
Yeah, I
fun.
bet it is.
Yeah.
Have y'all met some new friends there?
We have met a few, but we already had some friends who were volunteering before we were. So,
Oh, okay. So you
yeah,
already
one
knew
of
some
our
people.
dance friends recruited us
Okay.
into it. She is one of the captain's
Okay.
house manager people, and she recruited us. So, we knew her. We know some other people she's recruited, but we've met other people. So,
So, Nancy, what are you doing to maintain good health? Because you seem to be taking care of yourself quite well there.
well,
So,
I try to stay active and line dancing, and I go to the Y
yeah, line
also.
dancing is a
Yeah,
lot.
I go
Yeah.
to the Y also. Um, take like a Pilates class or yoga. We did try body pump class first.
What in the heck
It's
is
like
body pump?
lifting like hand weights and stuff. Um, we got to where we were fairly good at it, and then we moved, moving the house, getting into
Just
the new house.
lifting weights?
Yeah,
But
it's
what
all
are
to
they?
music and barbells and all this.
Oh,
Yeah,
I see.
it's very active. It is very active and
Okay, I got to
helpful.
ask, how heavy were those weights?
Well, mine were not that heavy.
Like 3 pounders?
Oh, a little bit heavier than that. I worked up a little
You
bit
did?
heavier than that,
Yeah, that sounds like
but
fun though.
but when we were in the process of moving, getting the other house and moving and everything, we didn't go for about 3 months, and then when we went back, tried body pump again, almost killed me. So I thought, okay, I'm going upstairs to the Pilates class.
And what do you wear at body pump? I'm only saying for the viewers who are going, I don't want to get myself in these leotards or whatever, these tight suits these young girls wear. What do you wear?
Sure.
Whatever you want?
Well, yeah, whatever you want, whatever feels comfortable for you to work out in.
Okay,
Yeah.
good, good. Because I think a lot of, as we get older, we don't want to be showing all our stuff off. So, we
Yeah.
fret over what we're going to wear,
Yeah. Well, and
So it's good to know.
I will say in that body pump class, there were several people our age.
Really?
Yes.
That's good.
That one, the age range, from young moms, since in
Oh,
the
oh,
daytime,
so it's everything, yeah.
yeah, all the way up to our age and older.
Wow.
So,
That's good.
And some of those older people really outdid me.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
That's good to know because I just think as we get older, it's harder to, we just want to fit in. You don't want to,
Yeah.
I'm not getting in there with all them young people and,
right, right.
and that's good to know that it's a good mix of those things. So what kind of adventures are you looking forward to? Have you think, I know you travel a lot and I know you guys like to go to Florida a lot, but I know that we talked a little bit about you guys going to Europe. Is that a big interest of you?
I would like to. There are a few places in Europe I've never been that I'd like to see, and I'd love to go back to Scotland. I've been there once. I'd love to go back. But there's a lot of places here in the United States I haven't seen that I'd like to, especially on the eastern side. Most of our trips have been west, except for Florida. So we've seen a lot of that part of the country. I want to see what's east.
Yeah.
So,
Anything in particular? Anywhere in particular?
Well, I'd like to go to Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
In upstate New York.
Upstate New York, that'd be neat.
I hear it's beautiful. I'd like to go there. I've never been to Washington, D.C. I have been to New York City and Boston. I'd go back to Boston.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
So
that's pretty neat too. Those are
Anthony
neat.
to Fenway Park.
Yep, he could do that. He could definitely do that.
Yeah.
That's a neat place to go to. Baltimore's pretty nice too.
Haven't been there, but
yeah. So those are kind of cool
Yeah.
places. Yeah. Well, it's neat that you're able to and you have the financial wherewithal to travel.
right.
So,
Very fortunate.
but people don't realize it doesn't really take a lot of money if you travel within the states and just look out for good buys. I know the airlines run specials all the time. I know there are travel agencies that you go in groups and it's a lot,
Right.
less expensive. But it's good that you've prepared yourself to do that. Now, fortunately, our listeners can then realize, hey, it does obviously. The more you prepare yourself, the more financially, the more things you're going to be able to do.
We did do a couple of trips driving. We went up to Hot Springs, which we thoroughly enjoyed, and we drove up to Albuquerque for the Balloon Festival last year, and that was
The
a
Balloon
lot.
Festival. Tell me about that. That's
That was
interesting.
very cool.
And where's this, in Hot Springs?
No, the balloon festival is in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Albuquerque. Oh,
And
tell me about that.
it was so fun. And we went.
I mean,
and
there's
we
like
went
tons of.
hundreds of hot air balloons. They have this big, it's like a fairgrounds but bigger.
Okay.
It's full of hot air balloons.
So they're all down there, and then they just release them all at once?
Not all at once. And if you get there early enough, you can watch them inflate the balloons.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they're on the ground, just kind of waiting their turn to, I forgot what they called it, ascent, or there's a word they have for it, but they take turns going up. And we were there long enough to go 3 days, I believe it was. And out of those 3 days, there's one day that they had this atmospheric situation that's called the box. It's peculiar to Albuquerque, that the balloons can go up and go like this and then come back, and it's the perfect weather conditions. And so they can get more balloons up in the air when it's like that.
Oh.
And there were hundreds.
That's why they call it a box, because it was able to just do this?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I've never heard of that.
It was amazing. It was fun to watch.
Did you guys get in a balloon?
No.
You didn't do it?
We didn't do that. I think you could buy a ticket to go up in a balloon, but we didn't do that.
We were fortunate, my better half and I, we were on a trip, we went on a hot air balloon. It is a hoot. If you've never done it, you need to do it once. It's a hoot. And we had a great time. So, but I can imagine hundreds in the air.
Yes.
Because you're going, and I remember where we were at, there were like 4 or 5, it was like a tour type thing. And I can't imagine hundreds of them that they don't run into each other. That's how good of pilots those people are.
Yeah, and the sky was clear blue. It was beautiful. It was really fun to watch.
Because it's really interesting, and you correct me if I'm wrong, it's like with the atmospheric pressure does to those balloons, that you've got to be able to react, and the pilots have got to know what to do.
Yeah.
They actually, I quizzed the guy, and they go to some kind of pilot school, he said, training for that stuff.
Yeah, I would guess.
And it was interesting, but I bet that's a good bucket list thing.
That was a fun road trip, though, because Anthony had never driven through West Texas.
Oh boy,
I had.
That's a rough one there.
It was
for all you people that know West Texas, that's a long, boring drive. Okay.
Yeah, we went up through the central part of Texas and stopped at the Cadillac Ranch outside Amarillo.
Yeah.
That was a bit of a disappointment, but then drove on up to Albuquerque. But when we came back, we came down through more of New Mexico and then into West Texas, like Pecos and Fort Stockton. And that's pretty desolate.
Yeah. For the listeners and for myself, when is this balloon festival? Is it one time a year, 2-3 times a year? What do they do?
It's once a year in October.
In October.
I think it was like the second week of October.
Okay, second week of October.
Yes.
I'm gonna look into that. So I think I would like to do that. That sounds like a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
I think it'd be funner to be in one though too.
And if you get up and go early, like early at 4 a.m. because then the parking's easier. Plus, you get to see the balloons inflate, and it's easier to get into the grounds if you go really early.
Well, let me ask you this: they have Uber there?
Probably.
Because I think I would just Uber over there. I don't have to worry with parking,
Probably. I don't know.
I'm just curious.
Yeah, I would assume they do.
Interesting. I'm going to look into that. I'm going to talk to my spouse about that. I think that would be fun. That'd be good. So you got a lot of good things you've done and are doing. What else? What else is there for you?
Well, I have my grandkids. I like to go see them. I have to go to them, though. They're all scattered everywhere now.
Yeah.
They're old enough to have their...
So you kind of sprinkle them in when you're not busy. It's time for the grandchildren. They'll still be there, but I got all these other things to do. That's kind of cool,
So my oldest one just graduated from high school, so she's about to start college, and then they go down in age
all the
from
way
there.
down,
So.
huh? Wow, your first one, you don't look like you should have a kid that old,
well,
a grandchild that old, really.
I do.
Wow. So they just trickle down, and then how many do you have?
5.
5. That's neat.
4 girls and one grandson.
Are they up close to you or different parts of the country?
Kingwood and Atascocita, so Houston
Okay.
area.
Yeah. Okay. So they're close. You can get to them. That's neat.
Yeah.
That's neat. Now, do you guys, and I'm just curious because I don't know if other people do this with their families and retired people. Do you pick one day we're having dinner together? Because I know some people, every Friday night, we're going, by God, we're going to go eat Mexican food. And everybody shows up every week. Or, Sunday, you go to, everybody comes over to grandma and grandpa's house. Do you do any of that?
I've tried that,
Mm-hmm.
but to get all of them in the same place at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
sitting still, it is practically impossible because
Yeah.
they are all involved in a lot of different things. So it's hard to get them all together. And I have to do it in groups. And my
I
daughter
see.
and son-in-law moved back from Denver about a year and a half ago. So they're back in the fold too. And trying to get everybody together is
It's a mess.
it's a challenge.
And then the bad thing about it is they always expect us to pay. What's the matter with these kids these days? No, I'm kidding. I know mine, yeah. We'll go, Dad, as long as you pay, or Grandpa. But no, that's cool. I'm just kidding around. But that's neat. I don't know. You guys, you have a real fulfilled retirement.
We've been very fortunate and very blessed, like Anthony said.
Yeah.
We've been very lucky, and one of the things that has given us a lot of this freedom, though, is all our pets have gone to pet heaven, so we don't have to worry about getting home for the dog,
Good point.
or
Hadn't thought about that.
where to board them or anything like that. So it's given us some more freedom.
Yeah, I mean that's the readers. I don't think, or the readers, the viewers don't realize, or we as retired, you just do you really want a pet? But I guess a lot of people do want pets. Have you thought about getting another pet?
We've talked about it, but
you don't tie yourself like kids, aren't they?
we like the freedom to be able to go somewhere, or if we do go, have an extra day, longer than we plan to come home. We can just stay an extra day if we want to, or I don't have to worry about can one of my kids watch the dogs or whatever. So that's given us more freedom. I think if I didn't have the activities I have or the ability to travel that we have, maybe another pet, but right now it's just unfit.
Yeah, yeah. And I know what you mean because we've got to put our animals at doggy daycare or whatever, and that's just aside from just the expense, just the hassle of doing that. We got to put them in the car, take them over there. So I mean, we get lucky because if we're going out of town, I know for people that do have pets, usually there are like a doggy daycare pet facility close to the airport nowadays.
Oh,
so
yeah,
we just
yeah.
drop them off close to the airport and then we zoom on in. So it's not really an inconvenience. We have had some people that come by and without getting too far into it, we have animals that are outside too. So we have people come and feed them, but that's a pain also.
Yeah.
So probably sometimes you think maybe it's better just to give them to another family that with younger kids that can want to deal with it. So that's interesting. And the pet dilemma, because a whole lot of people, well, you see people all the time on the planes with their animals.
Oh yeah,
because they don't want to leave them.
Yeah.
So I totally understand it. So, okay, name me one big more adventure that you want to do.
Oh.
Thought about that? You thought about one big thing you want to do?
Big thing, bucket list kind of thing.
Yeah, I know you said you want to go to Europe. You want to go to some of the places you haven't, because to recap, you do quilting, you do line dancing, you still work out at the Y. Are you doing the pickleball thing too?
No,
you're not a
pickleballer. At sports, I'm terrible.
You do a lot of traveling. So taking care of the grandchildren seems like you've got it all covered. It's got to be something else.
Well, I kind of had to back off hiking because I had to finally just admit that I can go uphill, but when it's going downhill, it kind of freaks me out.
Really?
So,
I would think it'd be the opposite. I'm struggling to
well,
go uphill.
well,
I want to
I
go
mean, it's
downhill.
work to go
Yeah.
uphill, but if you're on a rocky trail, like for example, we just went up to Fredericksburg a couple of years ago to Enchanted Rock.
Uh-huh.
And that's just one great big giant granite dome sticking up out of the ground. I could only get about halfway up. Anthony swears it wasn't quite that far, but I just got panicky because you're on bare granite. There's nothing to grab onto, nothing to hold on. You're on
Is it
bare granite.
slick?
It wasn't that day because it was
But it
dry,
can
but it
be if
can
like
be
in the morning and it's
or
dewy.
if it's dewy or if it rains, it can be
Mm-hmm.
slick. So I'm going. So I can't do this. So I have to sit down. So if I could do one more bucket list thing, it would be like to go on a nice hike in the mountains somewhere and not have a panic attack.
That's pretty good. Yeah. And your significant other, Anthony, doesn't give you that reassurance, the kind of that comfort that you're okay? Or
He tries. He
tries,
tries.
but it's something
Yeah.
internal with
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see where that
Yeah.
would be. That's interesting. Yeah. I think that'd be fun too. I'm not a very big, I never really did a lot of hiking, but everybody does it, loves it.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of a getaway. If you're out on a trail, not just a remote backcountry trail. I don't do those, but
Touch my nose. Does your sinuses
yeah.
don't bother you when you're
Yeah.
out there? I always
Uh,
worry about that, the sinus
well, I will say when we went to Lake
situation.
Tahoe
Mhm.
last month, we had our tree pollen season here.
Yeah.
It had just gotten to Lake Tahoe. We were there, so
It did affect you.
that did.
Yeah.
But
Because I think everything gets a little bit more sensitive now as we
yeah,
get older.
yeah,
So at least it does with me.
yeah.
So yeah, that's good. If you can overachieve that, then you're okay. Uh, that's awesome. Well, Nancy, thank you so much
I was
for
glad to
sharing
be
your
here.
story with us.
Glad
Because
to
I
be
think
here.
I learned a lot of stuff. So I'm sure viewers have got to say, hey, I didn't think about that, this and that.
Yeah.
That's really neat stuff to know. So I appreciate it. Thank you. Again, today's podcast was brought to you by Lone Star Coffee, your office coffee provider. Thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoyed it.